out of all the games we're talking about tonight, this one is like taking the cake from me. Like this is the icing on the cake. I'm super excited about this, and that is Outpost Infinity Siege. It's got like 4 games that I like, type of games that I love in one, and it looks like they do a really good job at it. And that's why I'm super excited about that. Don't you
Adam,
rain on my parade. Don't you do it.
let's pull up the trailer. Let's pull up the trailer.
I can do that.
And I don't want to I don't know. I don't. It looks cool. It looks pretty cool.
I think it looks great. There's no pretty cool, Dave. I'm super excited about this game. And I don't know. I don't know what about it. It just looks cool to me.
I mean, yeah, no, it looks cool. And guys, if you guys are just listening on the Spotify, what we're seeing now, is we got like a lot of mechs. We got some pretty cool armor. It's definitely gonna be like a first-person shooter of some kind. I mean,
It's like a it's like a sci-fi like first person shooter with some tower defense. But right now they're just kind of talking through the cinematics and like saying that like you're trying to take command of these outposts and build your outposts to stop invaders and stuff like that. And it looks pretty cool. And I think the gunplay looks really good. Like, and they're fighting huge bosses, Dave. You love huge bosses. Like right now, like, come on.
I do love huge bosses. So yeah, like if you guys are just listening on the Spotify, we're seeing a lot of cool aspects of the game. I mean,
got
right now,
base building and like upgrading and
yeah, right now we're getting a look at the base building and we're getting a look at all these different settings. And Adam's right. I mean, there are huge mechs that they're fighting in this game. I mean, so explain to the people what this game is, though. Like, essentially, what is this game? Are we looking at a first-person narrative? Is this going to be like a multiplayer, like? See, because it looks like I'm seeing like aspects of like Call of Duty, and like now I'm seeing aspects of like Command and Conquer, and now I'm seeing like, and then we saw aspects of like Armored Core, and I'm like, I'm having a hard time understanding what this game is.
Well, hopefully I can help you a little bit because this game is supposed to be all those things in one. It's so cool to me. So it's essentially it's a first person, but it's also tower defense. It's got the Command and Conquer. And to me, I think it works. I think it's because for me, when I play my tower defense games, I'm like, how cool would it be to be like in the action of like trying to stop all these like invaders and things like that? Because I don't know if you ever played Total War or Warhammer Total War. I can't remember the actual name, but like every time I play those games, I'm like, I want to like, because I try to zoom in as close as I can to see the battles. Yeah. So essentially, this is like a tower defense that you get to zoom in and be in the battle. And then a lot of the comments are like, oh, this is my favorite part of the game. So so it's the lady popping up. So
yeah, it's the pretty lady popping up. So yeah, that's probably a lot of people's favorite parts. But okay, is this a single player campaign or is this going to be like an online multiplayer?
This game it can be multiplayer, it can be single player, but essentially what this game is like I said, it's a first person, but it's also like a first person shooter that has tower defense. It's got outpost / base building, and you'll be able to explore the different levels to gather resources to upgrade your outpost. It's going to have co-op mode, and then that co-op mode can be broken down into a story mode, and then endless mode. So that's just like endless waves and you just try to build your base and see how long you can last, which again, I think that's pretty cool. I loved Bloons Tower Defense 5. Ever play that?
Yeah.
And then
I remember you playing that too.
I love that game. And so like for me, like this game is like out of tonight I'm like blown away on what this game looks. It looks good. And so a little bit more about it. So you'll have base weapons. So those are like the tower defense weapons shooting down on the enemies. You'll have mechs. So you'll be able to control big suits of armor and like destroy people with those. And then you'll have like first person guns. And I think that's really cool. In the game, you'll be able to start out very basic. So start out with like very low level. So it's going to have a leveling system that you start off pretty boring, and then like so I was watching a clip that was on Twitter, and they gave you examples like level 1. It's like, okay, I'm doing some damage. Level 9, you're doing good amount of damage, and then it does level with question marks, and it's like explosions everywhere and like big guns, and like it's got me excited. Like I'm excited for this game.
Is there a storyline to this game?
If there is, I don't care. because because I'm excited because I like for me I like tower defense games. Like I like seeing how far I can get with like just you know what I mean? Like I love tower defense games just to see how far. Like I like wave games. Like I love original Call of Duty Zombies. Like how far can I get? And that's what I'm excited about. Yes, there's gonna be a story mode, and I think it's just gonna be like you beat this level, and then you can move to a different level. This next level is harder, but it doesn't say that it has a true story to it.
Okay, so it's gonna be more of like a wave shooter.
Yeah,
So how are all of these four things gonna integrate into one gameplay experience? Like, do you get to decide like if you want to play in first person mode, or if you want to play as a mech, or if you want to take the battle on in like this command and conquer style? Like,
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a seamless transition, kind of how like when you like any other game, like so like Spider-Man 2, where you can like seamlessly transition from Miles to Peter Parker. I think it's gonna be that. So like you push up on the D-pad and over on the joystick, and you're in a mech, or up on the D-pad and you're looking down on your base. And I think the way it's gonna work with like the characters that you are commanding, I wonder when you switch to first person, it's gonna be like a drop of you, like you're dropping into the war zone.
okay, I mean the switch from the first person shooter to the mech is totally fine with me. I think where I'm getting thrown off is the switch from an FPS to a command and conquer style. It just seems like it's gonna be a very different, abrupt switch.
I'm excited for it. It may be abrupt, but like I think it's gonna work because honestly, like the gameplay itself, it looks good. You can't say like the way it looks bad. Do you think it looks bad? Like honestly,
I don't think it looks bad. I mean, honestly, I don't think it looks bad, and I don't think it looks like a bad game, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. I more or less just have questions about it because you know me, like you know, this looks appealing to you, right? And to me, honestly, this does look appealing because I'm not the hugest FPS fan, but I do like to play some shooter titles. And you know me with like I freaking love Armored Core. Like I freaking love Armored Core. So you know like a mech shooter is right in my wheelhouse. And I also like Command and Conquer. So you know that like strategic style is like also in my wheelhouse too. But how many people are going to be fans of all three of those types of genres? That Okay, but me too. But like, are we the norm, or are we outcasts and we just happen to be in the same room?
I say for all the games we review, I look at the comments section, and there really wasn't much negative about the game. Like a lot of people are super excited about this game, if that makes sense. Like, so I think there is going to be a big, not huge following, but I think there's going to be a lot of interest in this game that is going to be positive based off of what I've seen in the comments.
I mean, yeah, I hope, I really hope. Like I don't want to crap on this game. I think it's cool. I think the idea is cool. I'm just worried about the command and conquer aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that part is probably like my favorite part. I think it's going to have some seamless transition. Unfortunately, we haven't got to see that very much, but I think it's going to have I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be really fun. May not be like the best game ever, but I think it's going to have that like adrenaline of like how far can I get? Like what can I do in this game? And I'm excited. So
I think in order for this game to be successful, it has to be like you said, where um it's like a choose the aspect kind of thing. I think if they make this like mission based, where it's like one mission is an FPS, one mission you're in the mech, one mission you're doing a command and conquer style like tactical, I think that's where they're probably going to lose people. And again, I hate to keep beating the dead horse, but it's the command and conquer thing. And I think that type of tactical combat in because it's not it's not so much like action based. It's really not. It's not as exciting as like the FPS or the mech where you're getting in there and you're shooting and stuff like that. I mean, it's very tactical, and I think that it's almost like if you put like a flight simulation mission into like a racing game. You know what I mean? Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at the Crew Motorfest, you can switch between a plane and a car and like that, and it goes well.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the style of play. Like think about like a arcade style like the Crew where you're racing, and then think about your time spent in like the flight simulator like when you were flying the plane. It's a very different experience, you know what I mean? It's very slowed down and much more like tactical. Think about it instead of run and gun action, and I think for some people that's going to deter them if they have to do that.
I honestly think that this game is going to make it feel like there's action everywhere, and I think what's going to make this game feel cool is like, so you're fighting on this front, and then like in first person, they're like, "Hey, we're getting attacked in this front to the side. Like, we need to up our defenses." And so that's when you expand your map or like go from that top down view, and you change the way the rest of the fight is being fought. And so you like change some of your defenses to be like, okay, Group A fight ahead. Now let's split Group A into two. Now go fight over here, and then like, so that's cool. Like you get to like think about the fight in all aspects, not just like what's in front of me.
Okay, so it's like a command and conquer style, but basically what you're doing is you're like controlling the rest of your troops, and then once you have them placed where you want them, then you are like jumping into that first person and like either being you or the mech and then actually getting into the fight.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think that's what it is. And actually, so as we were talking, I pulled up a little gameplay. And so that's kind of the way they're going to do it is so when it gets to the top down or like the tower defense, you like I said, you do it that way, but also the way you call your mech, you go into that top down view or that tower defense and you call the mech to where your character is, and then you can jump into your mech and like tell or like grapple into your mech.
I'm sold.
See?
I'm
Oh
sold.
man, this game is so cool.
This can be
I'm
so
so
sick.
excited.
Okay.
That's what
all right.
I think that's how it's gonna be, and that's what I saw. Like literally, I just pulled up gameplay. Like I just happened to find some gameplay on it. But yeah, so I'm excited for this because it's gonna combine all these games that I like into one. It's got Titanfall. I love Titanfall. It's got Balloons Tower Defense in a way, plus like Total War, Warhammer esque like top down Command and Conquer, and then it's got first person shooter. Like, come on. Urgh.
Armored Core mech shooter too.
Yeah, there you go, Dave.
The very like you know that's probably that was the most intriguing part of the trailer to me, because you know that I freaking love Armored Core. It's so sick, and like just seeing the way I really focused in on how the mech looked like it would control, and it does look super fun. It looks like they nailed like the mech mechanics that coming as like an Armored Core player, that's the mechanics I feel like it should have, and I feel like they nailed it. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
congratulations,
For this one.
congratulations,
Woo!
Adam.
Double thumbs up
Congratulations.
for me too. Oh,
I had a lot of questions. You answered a lot of questions that I had, and now I am excited for this title. I think it's going to be really, really cool and very, very unique.
good. Because I think that's what sold me on it too. It's gonna have a very unique, like it's just different. Like there's no game that combines all three of these elements into one game, and that's why I'm excited.
I mean, good on them, dude. Like honestly, just in this day of like just so many titles that it's nearly impossible to come up with an original idea. This is clearly an original idea, and I think they're swinging for the fences on it, and I wish them luck because I think it's gonna be sweet.
And it goes back to that conversation of like, how creative can people be? It's like, hey, okay, all right, game ideas, pitch them. Let's hear it. Oh, let's make a first-person shooter. Love it. Okay, let's make a tower defense. Ooh, let's add mechs to it. Yes. All right, now how can we combine them all? Sir, we can't. Do it anyway. Like, so, and then that's so cool to me, and I think this is so much different than what you see in games, and that's why I'm excited about this one.
Looks really, really, really cool. Like I said, my very small expertise on this is going to be the Armored Core. section and just looking at the way that the mech controls in the trailer, I do feel like it's very fluid, and I do feel like they really nailed that aspect. And the Command and Conquer is fun. Command and Conquer, I've loved Command and Conquer for as long as I could possibly remember. I think it's a really, really cool way to do that. And to have some control over the rest of the battle aside from just you is definitely a very interesting and unique kind of aspect on, a war-like shooter. So yeah, very, very, very cool.
Yeah, and this one comes out March 26th, so not too far away. It's going to be on the PC. So the PC game, it's made by Lightning Games. Just throw that out there.
PC exclusive, so PC players. But I mean, I feel like the way that this kind of is set up, I feel like this is going to tailor mostly to PC players anyways. So
like I said, I didn't look too closely at the gameplay, but I think it's going to have a lot to do with like mouse and keyboard, some extra buttons maybe that the controller won't have, if that makes sense, especially with some of that base building, dragging, dropping some of the stuff for your base and things like that. And so like for me, I don't mind because I like mouse and keyboard games, unless I'm going against like people that are good, like Call of Duty Warzone. I suck at it, so
I mean, I think like exactly like you said though, if it really is this fluidity between switching to these different aspects, it's like it almost needs to be PC. I mean, that would be really, really hard to control with the controller and be as responsive as you. I feel like you kind of need this game to be, especially if you're jumping in and out of first person to the rest of it. It's like, yeah, this probably needs to be a PC title.
I don't know why, but this game like blew me away as I was watching it. And I think it just has every game type that I love into one game. And it's got mechs in it.
I will look forward to your full text review that you will send me on the 26th, followed by the stream on the 27th.